Yeah, okay. And here we go. Kind of sort of maiden voyage of, well, what I hope to be a regular feature. I've not been faithful to my goals in 2025 to live stream regularly for my business. I do I do a lot of live streaming for other people. I do it for clients. I do it for projects that I have. Such as the brand. Some of you have tuned in and seen the promos for the new podcast that I'm doing with our friends over at Red Gambit Marketing. Shout out to my good friend Nick Farsace, and more about that soon. But I started this year with a goal to start doing basically live production, tech talks, some education online within my space and what I do. And what do I do? Well, my name is Sam Ettaro, and I am a live stream producer. I am a retired educator. I actually taught digital media arts for many years. And many years, I think 11 and a half years I did that. And what does that mean? Web design, audio production, video production, and most recently, since moving to the beautiful Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina, I started my own company, retired from teaching, and I formed EttaroMedia, LLC. And what I do primarily as my mainline source of income is corporate live streaming. That entails setting up basically on location with what I have going on here, a live stream broadcast level setup, multiple PTZ cameras, pan tilt zoom cameras. We'll get into that. And that all set up through my handy dandy network that is custom configured for such endeavors. And I go out on live stream gigs for corporations, private events. I've done like Wells Fargo corporate stuff, Synchrony Bank corporate stuff, weddings, funerals, whatever may come my way. If it's aligned with my mission for my company and it's something that I'm capable of doing, then yeah, that's what I do. And it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. And I believe that it's high time that I utilize these technologies that I have at my disposal in this wonderful home studio that I've built over a good period of time and start broadcasting. A marketing young man, a marketing guy that laid together a plan for me last year, laid out the plan for developing an online presence, and I looked at the plan and I promptly, as I do with things sometimes that I really don't want to do, kind of set it off to the side and put it on a shelf. So not good, but it's one of the things that I do, which is what we all do in one way or another, procrastinate. Now, why would I procrastinate this, you might ask? Because you're like, okay, Sam, you do this for a living. Clearly you're good at it. You know what you're doing. Well, yeah, I am. But the idea of trying to be an influencer, right? The idea of trying to set up a regular live stream and getting in that space and pushing to become an influencer and doing this on a regular basis really was not palatable to me. I don't like the idea of having to live stream just for the sake of live streaming, right? So I think that's why I turned it off and put it off. I came up with a bunch of different topics and things that I was going to cover, right? And just didn't feel right to me, didn't like it, so I didn't do it. So, well, one of the things that came to mind in recent days is the feedback that I get from clients and from people to come and visit in the studio or watch me do what I do. And I get a lot of good, positive feedback as to the uniqueness of my approach. I mean, I've been doing this for 30 years. I've been editing video for 30 years, doing multimedia production. And even though I am an educator, my degree is actually in education, vocational education specifically. And I'm self-taught in regards to all of the live streaming stuff and the networking and the video and the building studios and the audio production and video production. Been doing it for many, 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 many years, decades, in fact. And I've come to understand that I have kind of forged a niche. I've got my own unique way of doing things. Primarily editing in Adobe Premiere, and utilize a variety of different tools, not the least of which is vMix here you're seeing on my screen. I'm going to go ahead and start sharing some of the screens with you. Today, what I want to do is stick to this new promise that I've had in my mind, because as I said, I was delaying and putting off doing a regular live stream because of the pressure of having to do it. Just didn't like that vibe, right? So I thought, well, I'm in my studio editing and creating and making stuff all the time. Why not just broadcast what it is that I'm doing? Maybe somebody somewhere will find it valuable. Maybe somebody somewhere will learn a little something from it. Maybe you just find it entertaining. I don't know. Whoever you are watching, if you find this useful and you find it valuable and you have any questions and you want to chime in, please feel free to do so. And I'm just going to kind of start walking through some of the projects that I'm working on and broadcasting it out there on my new EttaroMedia channel. So without further ado, I'm going to share some screens with you and show you what I got going on and what I'm going to share with you today. This is my Adobe Premiere timeline for a project that I am working on. And I'm going to share this with you. And the topic today is, as I said at the outset, voice tracking. So I do a lot of voiceover work. A lot of folks comment on my work. They will tell me how impressed they are with my voice. And I've done things for documentary film. I've done marketing videos, television commercials. Oh my God, more TV commercials and marketing videos in my 30 years doing this than I can even remember doing. It's been crazy. One thing consistently, dude, you got a great voice. And I'm like, yeah, all right, God blessed me with that. But there are certain things and certain aspects of voiceover work that I've learned over the years that I thought it'd be kind of fun to share with you today as we actually go through voice tracking, taking from a scratch track to an actual professionally recorded voiceover, so I can go through and finish the final timing and the final production of this for my client. So this is what I got going on in here. I'm going to share with you before I get started on the project, I'm going to share with you a little look at some of my studio. I think that that's important to add some context, and so you know what it is that you're looking at. So this is my overhead cam back in the corner, and this I can pan left and right, pan, tilt up and down, and zoom in and out, of course. So in the podcast setup and for when the band comes over, I have 3 PTZ cameras in my studio. One right there for my guest chair. And let's zoom out. One here for a side angle when I'm looking at this screen over here. And one right here between my main monitors. So when I'm looking forward into this camera, I'm addressing my audience this way. And these are the raw cameras. And I'm going to share with you what I'm seeing in vMix now. So these 3 cameras are going into a network. So what I've got here on my desk here, I've got a little PoE switch, which is power over Ethernet switch. So all the stuff right here that requires power over my network goes into this little switch, gigabit switch. Nothing too fancy. Then I got a little higher end switch up here, which is my main hub. So everything's going into this switch, which then taps the internet through a 10 gigabit router up here at the top. I've got wireless microphones all set up in there as well. And then this beast, an Allen and Heath 24 track digital mixer. So how do we put all this together? Well, over here we've got the CQ mix screen, and you can see, let's see here, 1 2 check 1 2. There is my microphone coming into the digital mixer, my audio levels, and of course, I mean, this gets rather complicated. There's various USB sends and multiple outputs for when the band comes over and we do sub mixes. This is for a whole nother time, whole nother thing. I just thought you might find this interesting, how all this stuff works and talks. And then I've got what is happening here on Premiere coming in through this stereo input via USB
when customers
track.
come in.
And then that is all going into vMix, right? This is my tool of choice for broadcast, and I'm going to go ahead and actually just switch the scene for you so you can kind of get a behind the scenes here and get an idea of what it is that is happening. This is what I'm looking at right now. Not an incredibly complex production, but it can really get complex big time. Some of these shows that I've produced when I was doing live work when Naomi Brockwell was broadcasting her NBTV crypto stuff, man, some of these shows would have 70 different sources in here. It was a rather complex production. Standard production, you know, 3 cameras, couple audio sources, and I'm switching here with my handy dandy Stream Deck, right? So I pre-program in all of my different scenes, and then I can just pull them up by hitting a button. So if you see me looking down, that's usually what I am doing one way or another. Just kind of running the show and maybe tweaking some audio levels, because this new Stream Deck is really actually pretty cool. It's got audio knobs and all sorts of adjustments that I can assign to my system. And another thing I really I have to give a shout out to my supplier. I am a supplier, I guess you could say, of PTZ camera equipment, networking camera equipment, by the name of Shammai. And I've been dealing with this company now for going on 2 years. And I gotta say, I mean, for the money, I mean, these aren't $5,000, $7,000, $20,000 Canon and Sony cameras. No, they're not. But for the money, absolutely phenomenal quality. I've got 5 in my arsenal, I think 5 30x zoom cams and a 20x, and man, really, really nice quality, very smooth motion. And how I use this is, let me go ahead and you see me down here looking down to adjust the camera. I'm going to go to the overhead cam. You see what I'm doing here. This, again, through a standard network cable. This is what's so cool in the power of NDI, which is Network Device Internet Protocol. This is how all this stuff talks, and it's really phenomenal. Everything happens over this little network that I've built. So I'm not running multiple HDMI cameras or SDI cables, and I just plug in an Ethernet cable and configure everything nicely, talks all together, and I'm controlling all the cameras through this Xiaomi controller. Check this out. Very cool, right? So I can go left, right. I can zoom in. I can zoom out. I can control different functions of the camera, such as white balance. Let me zoom in on this. So from the controller, I can control white balance. I can set my exposure mode. I can turn on backlight functions if I want to. I can even adjust the gain, RGB gain over here. Zoom in and out manually using this little thumb wheel here. And, focus manually if I want to. I can turn off autofocus and manually focus, as you can see, right? I got a preview of all of my cameras right here. Oh, that's my guest cam over there with a monitor in front of it. And when I pull up the preview, it gives me the ability then to use the functions of the controller. Very, very cool. And these controllers actually are... now, this version of the controller is a little older, and I bought it, I think, going on 2 years ago, and it is not equipped natively with NDI. However, it is possible. There we go. Let me pull this out. Get that broader shot again. However, for a $50 license, you can go ahead and you can upgrade to an NDI license, update the firmware, which I think maybe will be a show that I want to do on how to update all these handy-dandy devices and working with the good folks at Xiaomi, how to update the firmware, how to make sure it's all optimized, and then how to integrate these devices directly into an NDI network. But today, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about voiceover tracking. Don't you hate it when back in the day, the radio guys used to talk like that? It used to make my teeth hurt. You don't hear it so much these days, which I'm really happy, because one of the things that I think I've seen, one of the trends that I'm seeing in media production, in general, independent media production especially, is people leaning toward being much more genuine, right? And not putting on that fake voice. I mean, sometimes, like I just did a project here locally, and I did I kind of had a southern drawl. I had to do lower my voice a little bit and do as if I was from Charlotte, right? Talk a little bit, slight accent maybe. But for the most part, I take the philosophy when I'm doing voiceover that I might change the timbre or the tone of my voice slightly, but for the most part, my attitude is it's just me, I remember watching an interview with Christopher Walken, one of my favorite actors, and hold on a second here, I'm setting something on my vMix. And he said, I think they were talking with him about his favorite characters, and he said, all my characters are me, He said he doesn't really, I don't remember exactly what he said, how he put it, but in essence, he plays the character as written and read the lines as written as Chris Walken, right? And he doesn't transform himself into a different personality. he lets his personality, he lets his very unique personality shine through in all that he does as an actor. And I thought, wow, all right. So that's kind of my philosophy when I do stuff, whether it's music production or it's whether I'm writing songs and singing or performing or doing voiceover work, as you're going to see here. That is kind of my philosophy. I just be myself and try to focus on the A word, authenticity. Just be me. So what are we doing today? Well, we are talking about a marketing video. This is a project I've been working on for a while. And my good friends, a shout out to my good friends over at Mint Hill Tool Rental, local tool rental shop. Great people, fun people, providing a very valuable service to our community. And I'm honored to be able to work with them and do this work for them. Now, the video in question and what we're looking at today is we're coming in at about 9 minutes. I got to get it down. And the goal here is to create a quality look at the company, the history of the company, what it is that they do, how they do it, the people that work there, right? The different segments, the services that they offer, right? Testimonials from customers. We have a nice little segment here on history that's going to be built around old pictures. They've been around for quite some time. So we want to add that context to the video, right? A really personal approach and a personable edit, right? So being that we're breaking this up in segments too, I'm going to be able to then take that content and get a lot of mileage out of it, I guess you could say, and create shorts, various shorts and things that we can push out on social media over a period of time. There's my good friend Ray from Put Tools in Schools. So I'm going to go ahead and play the beginning of this for you and kind of give you an idea of what we're going to be doing here. What I did was I started with what we would call a scratch track. I didn't have everything all set up because I had all my stuff tore down from a streaming gig. And I'm like, okay, I didn't feel like setting everything up to do this. And I knew, why didn't I record it right out of the gate? Because I knew this was a lot of work. There were multiple interviews, sources. It was a lot of work to piece this together, and it's still going to be a lot of work to whittle it down, but I got the timeline down to where I'm like, okay, the story's making sense. I like it. A little long, but there's a lot of space to be able to chop out if need be. And then I'm going to go back once I have the timeline down, and before I do the final polish, I'm going to go back and get rid of what I call my scratch track, which was just using a low-end microphone and just doing a quick read for placement. So one of the things that I've noticed, and especially when you're doing these types of videos, if you run into a longer video too, you really want to pay attention to your pacing, right? It's not just about the quality, it's not just about the enunciation and the articulation or the tone of your voice or the accent that you're going to use or whatever the case may be. Pacing is critical. Right? So inflection, when I was teaching, we used to talk about this a lot with my kids. Learning to use your voice appropriately to emphasize certain aspects of the visuals. Because when you're looking at video, right, you got different tracks here. Here you've got a graphic. I'll turn that off and on for you. Here you've got B-roll. On that track, here you have the scratch track of my voiceover that I did. Trusted partner for 20 years. Concrete mixers. All right. This is the music track. Mowers, tile cutters, backhoes, and more. We've got the tools you need to get the job done right. Whether you are a seasoned contractor or... So I'm going to go ahead and play this without the music so you can hear it. And here we go. Welcome to Mint Hill Tool Rental, our community's trusted partner for over 20 years. From concrete mixers to lawnmowers, tile cutters, backhoes, and more, we've got the tools you need to get the
Here's
job
what I'm going to do.
right.
Now that I'm actually going to start editing, here's the tip. Get good headphones, okay? You got a good microphone and good headphones. It's going to go a long way if you know how to use them to create wonderful quality audio. But it's not just enough to get decent quality headphones. These are all right. I mean, by sure, a good quality brand. Cost me maybe $100, but they're open back. Now, why does that matter? Open back, close back. The open back ones, as I'm playing my audio, it's coming through here, and you can actually hear it in the room. It's not isolating the audio completely closed. So, how do you remedy that? You get better quality, number one, closed back headphones. These will isolate the audio completely, and they're not bleeding out into my microphone. Very important. So if you listen to this as I'm talking, you can kind of hear that, right? Coming through the microphone, yeah? Well, when I put these on, they clamp nice and tight through a different output of my mixer, and even though they're really nice and loud, it's isolated because they are a closed can, and the microphone isn't picking that up. So actually, these are blasting my head, so I'm going to turn down the volume on this because, man, is that loud. Let's see here. I got to go back to my outputs and output headphone 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. There we go. Okie doke. Checking 1 2. Checking 1 2. There we go. All right, that helps. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead, as I said, play this video for you a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to actually track the audio, and I'm going to use, there's so many different tools that you can use. I'm not going to get into all that today. What I use the Adobe Creative Suite. I utilize Premiere and Photoshop for all my motion graphic, and video editing work. And then I utilize vMix for my live stream production, and PreSonus Studio One. These are all they're all high-end professional tools, but I gotta say, if you're looking to get into this at this level, they're affordable. I mean, my prescription. Some days it feels that way. I got a love-hate relationship with Adobe. My subscription to Adobe, I don't know, is like $30 a month, something like that. And then PreSonus, couple $100 a year, and man, I'm able to produce high-quality, straight-up professional productions. So let's take a look at this. I'm going to show you then how to track. I'm not going to go straight into Premiere. We can maybe talk about doing that on another day, but I'm going to actually use PreSonus to record the scratch track, or to record the final track. We're going to replace the final track with, we're going to replace the scratch track with the final track, and then I'm going to do some adding some compression and doing some fine-tuning work, and I'm going to show you the beginning process. I'm not going to take the whole time to go through the entire 10-minute video because that would be hours and hours of work, but I'm going to show you the first few segments of this, how this is done, and we're going to look at the transformation between the two. So I'm going to save this project, and then I'm going to open up. So this is with the scratch track audio, and then I'm going to save this as a new version and put the final recording track in there for the voiceover and start doing the fine tuning. So you have a little bit of context and a little before and after to view. So let's go ahead and just kind of watch the first minute of this or so. Welcome to Mint Hill Tool Rental, our community's trusted partner for over 20 years. From concrete mixers to lawnmowers, tile cutters, backhoes, and more, we've got the tools you need to get the job done right. Whether you are a seasoned contractor or a weekend do-it-yourselfer, Mint Hill Tool Rental offers a wide range of pro-level equipment, flexible rental options, competitive pricing, and the expert advice and service that you expect and deserve throughout every step of your job or project.
My name is Rosa, and today's video we'll be talking about how to load up and properly secure your machine. Securing your machine is very important. You want to ensure safety on the road. So let's get started. Here, my friend Raj will go ahead and walk you through the process.
Our team are more than just employees. They're knowledgeable and passionate about helping you.
Most people tend to rent the lifts for tree work, cleaning windows, Christmas lights.
I still have a lot of B-roll
anything that's up high that ladders just won't be able to reach.
The first thing we talk about is safety. Make sure you have on your safety harness. You can adjust your safety harness.
Ready to help you choose the right tools.
All right, so you see what's happening here, right? Right here, I'll color code these. These are my scratch tracks. Okay, so let's label these. Let's label these yellow. These are my scratch tracks, and you can see, you can hear it. It's just not very good quality, and that's fine because all it was really for was placement. It gave me the ability to do to begin getting about 80% done. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play this with music, and notice how the music changes the whole vibe, right? Music, audio in a production is so absolutely important. I remember, I'll tell you a little story here. We'll go back in the Wayback Machine. Years and years and years and years ago, I was producing oh my God, I'm talking 23 years ago. It was a whole series. It was a campaign, a whole series of videos for a furniture company. And I think we did like 12, we did a marketing video and I think a series of 12 TV commercials. And I remember one of the videos was for a very high end, you know, we're talking $10,000 couches, right? Sofas, very high end line. A very elegant line, and I went through and I created the commercial, and the edit was really cool. It was really nice, very, like I said, it held to the elegant vibe of the and the high end nature of the product, and the client liked it, but they said, you know, the edit feels slow, and I remember somebody in the company. I don't remember who it was, but somebody in their marketing department, they said, well, I've been doing it editing, and I understand the pacing of editing, right? What the pacing, the cuts, how fast the things are up on the screen, how fast they maybe move and linger on the screen, slight motion pushes, things that you can do to kind of pick up the pace of the edit, right? It feels faster, even though it's still the same 30 seconds, right? So they said, well, the music that I chose was I think it was like a classical music. It was very nice. And they said, it's just kind of dragging. Can you pick up the edit? And we didn't argue about it, but I said to them, well, I think the edit pace is fine. And they said, no, you need to do this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, all right, no problem. Well, I didn't. I went back and I took the classical music out and I put some upbeat, snappy, hip jazz in there and just exported the exact same edit. Really just didn't make hardly any changes at all to the visuals. And they loved it. And the guy even said, I told you. And I'm like, yeah, okay, right. So, you know, the style of the music that you choose is so important, and the pace of the music, it can really, audio can make or break a video production in plain English. That is an absolute fact. So for this, it's a tool rental place, right? It's nothing sexy. You can rent stump grinders and cement mixers, and right, it is what it is. A lot of contractors shop there and get their gear there. Very well-known local company. So I wanted to get some music that was, kind of accessible to everybody, right? And I kind of went for a light rock pop vibe, right? We're in North Carolina, and sort of I wouldn't call it country, but sort of, well, country music today isn't really country music the way I grew up with it. So kind of a country-ish rock vibe. Check this out, and you heard the scratch track with a little bit of the music in the background, and you can hear how we use the music to resolve segments of the video, right? So here's the first segment, the intro, and you can actually, if you take a look here, let me see if I can zoom in. If you take a look here on the timeline, you can see the waveforms. This is the clip of Rosa starting
And today's
to talk.
video we'll be talking.
And then this down here is the music bed that now I am going to, oh, you can't see it. Hold on. Let me move this up a little bit. All right. Hold on here. All right. There we go. I was in the wrong screen. Okay, so you can see this here. This is the waveform of the music track down on track 3. This is my voiceover, and this is the voice of our subject, Rosa, talking, right? And you can see how these all ramp down and they smooth out. You want to make sure when you're working with audio, you definitely want to make sure that you're not getting these hard cuts. You can hear it. Like if you take a listen here, I'm going to go ahead and show you. If we would start this right here in the middle of a word, you can hear in the scratch track, see this little bump right here? That might be me going, right? The finesse comes in when you're going through the final audio and you're removing all that stuff and you're ramping the audio up and down, and I can spend days mixing a half-hour long cooking show, for instance. I have with multiple audio tracks, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of nuance and a lot of subtlety. So if we take a listen to this,
My name is.
did you hear that kind of popped, right? Listen.
Expect and deserve throughout every step of your job or project.
My name is Rose.
Did you hear that kind of, right? You don't want that. So what we're going to do is we're going to extend the clip here, and we're going to find where we want her to start talking. Right? You can kind of hear she kind of, so we want to come in after that little stammer. So we're going to put a node, and we're going to do a ramp, and we're going to ramp that up so it's a little smoother. We're not hearing the little stammer. We're actually hearing the full M. My name is Rosa, right? And we're going to get rid of this. We're going to ramp down my voiceover. So now we have this silence, right? So take a listen now.
Of your job or project.
My name is Rosa, and today's video.
Okay, now let's go ahead and use this space, and we're going to use the music bed that's in the background. Now, take a listen to this with the music bed.
Service that you expect and deserve.
Now, what do you notice? Obviously, it's a bit loud, right? So we're going to pull that down.
Throughout every step of your job or project.
My name is Rosa, and today's video we'll be talking about how to load up and properly secure your machine.
All right, so did you notice how the music resolves right there at that segment intro. So we're going into a new segment, and the music sort of resolves and wraps up. And then the next segment over here starts with new music, and it ramps up and it sets the vibe for this section, right? So let's go ahead and play that with the music. I'm going to increase the volume of this crappy scratch track here.
Flexible rental options, competitive pricing, and the expert advice and service that you expect and deserve throughout every step of your job or project.
My name is Rosa, and today's video we'll be talking about how to load up and properly secure your machine. Securing your machine is very important. You want to ensure safety on the road. So let's get started.
So that's a clip
Here, my
from
friend
one of the
Raj
videos
will go
I made
ahead and walk you
earlier
through the
this year.
process.
Our team are more than just employees. They're not.
Right. Boom. Now, we're going to start out. This music is going to bring in this whole new section, right? And you can see where Rosa's talking here. I'm going to go ahead again. Let's finesse this. And then I'm going to do the voiceover.
We'll go ahead and walk you through the process.
Our team.
Okay, did you hear that? Right? You can see that right here. See that noise? That's the music bed from that video. So I'm going to take that when she stops talking,
Through the process.
when she says process right there, and I'm going to ramp that down so we don't get that right? And then I'm going to ramp up my voiceover here. So then again, we got that little bit of space. And what are we going to do in that space? We're going to ramp up the music. So it comes in right in that space. Let's go ahead and pull that up. So it's a noticeable bump. Let me see if I can get closer here. There we go. All right.
My name is Rosa, and today's video we'll be talking about how to load up
music
and
go
properly
down.
secure your machine.
Okay,
Securing
there's
your
the
machine is
clip
very
from the
important. You want to
previous video.
ensure safety on the road. So let's get started.
Okay, now you're
Here,
gonna-
my friend Raj
she's
will
gonna
go
ramp
ahead
down.
and walk you through the process.
Our team are more than just employees. They're knowledgeable.
Boom. Okay, so let's go ahead and move that slightly this way.
Ahead and walk you through the process.
Our team are more than just
There you
employees.
go.
They're knowledgeable.
Got that little volume swell, and that
Helping you.
sets
Most
the
people
tone
tend to rent
for
the
the
lifts
next
for
segment.
tree work, cleaning windows, Christmas lights.
So I'm going to go ahead and go forward here a little bit so you can kind of catch this vibe. So here we're talking about service, the value of service, the people in the company. And you can see how, again, we use music to keep this pace going. So when I did the voiceover, when I did the scratch track, I just started with, as I said, a crappy microphone that I had it handy. And I just really did a quick read. I really wasn't paying attention. It was all really just for timing. So, and placement. One of the things that I noted was, well, when I do my final voiceover, I need to pick up the pace. I need to add some energy to this. And that's going to add energy to the video as well, right? So keep that in mind when we start doing the voice tracking here. So I'm going to go ahead and keep playing this for you a little bit. And just, again, so you can get a vibe for where we're going. And notice how the music plays into setting this tone for the overall video.
We'll have a premium brand that you pay a little bit more for if that's what you want, but we also make sure we get a quality, cheaper brand, and you don't have to worry about its quality either.
I feel so good, man. You could help somebody. That's what it's about, helping people.
Have to go tomorrow is what, Friday? Oh, so we have a stump grinder.
Ah, check that out. Okay. We were using cell phones here. Now, did you notice if you're listening in stereo, you heard Raj's voice only in one ear because stereo imagery is left and right, right? Well, we were using little creator microphones attached to our cell phones, And this particular track, and if you actually look at the audio track, you can actually see it. It's only on the left channel, right? Whereas up here, it's on the left and the right.
Man, you could help somebody. That's what it's about, helping people.
Have to go tomorrow.
Right, and you can see it over here in the meters as well.
Friday. Oh, so we have a...
So what I'm going to do a duplicate left. So I'm going to duplicate what is on the left channel along to the right as well, okay? So we're going to go audio channel. So check this out. That is our audio left and right source right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, I want the right source to be the same as the left. And that's going to make it a faux stereo, right? It's going to just duplicate the mono channel in the left ear onto the right track. So now we have a fuller
Helping
sound.
people.
Have to go tomorrow. Tomorrow is what, Friday? Oh, so we have a stump grinder. All right, we have a Kubota with a smooth...
Not always about the numbers, but it's about customer service, how you treat them. And that's the reason why they come back to us, because we're simply the best.
At Mint Hill Tool Rental, service and value.
All right, you get the idea, all right? And this is going to take some work, probably another day. I'd say another day worth of work to really nuance this and get rid of all those clicks and ums and ahs and the various fine polish. I kind of liken video editing to whittling wood, right? You start out with this chunk of wood and you're not really sure exactly what you're going to get. It's a chunk of wood. You start noticing the grain, you start noticing the color, you start just whittling and taking stuff off, and you're realizing, oh, wait a minute, the way the grain works with my slice there and what I did, it's sort of looking like the curve of a bird's beak, right? And then a little bit more, and then you're realizing, oh, it's not a chicken, it's an eagle. It's looking, you're seeing it in your head, and it starts to come together, like looking at clouds, and somebody sees Snoopy, somebody else sees Winnie the Pooh, somebody else sees, I don't know, whatever. You get the idea. So we start with just throwing stuff on the timeline, and the next thing you know, we've got a story being told. And it all comes together, whittling, start at the beginning, go through it, go to the end, start at the beginning, go through it, refine it, go to the end. So I'm going to go ahead and, as I said, save this as number 4. Now I'm going to save this as number 5, and I'm going to do the voiceover. So let's close Premiere, and here's what we got. We got PreSonus Studio 1. All right, so single track, right? We got our single track. I'm going to go ahead and boost this up a little bit. I have some compression on my mixer, or my CQ mixer. I have some nice compression, make the voice pop out a little bit, and smooth out a little bit of the harshness using my EQ function on there. But for the most part, I'm just taking I'm utilizing the ASIO driver, which is taking the raw digital audio from the mixer, right? With just that slight bit of processing, I'm adding that to the output, and it's just taking that into PreSonus, and I'm just going to do a straight read here and let this run. All right, so let's think about the pacing and the voice and what I want to do here. Service, and value. Welcome to Mint Hill Tool Rental, our community's trusted partner for over 20 years. All right, so how do I want to do this? So I'm thinking I want to be myself. I'm not going to put on an accent, not going to put on any kind of airs or anything like that. I'm thinking, let me think here. Welcome to Mint Hill Tool Rental. Get that nice deep voice, that nice rich deep. Notice the proximity, the placement of the microphone, how it really changes the timbre of your voice. And we'll get into different types of microphones down the road and the different pickup patterns. This is a nice broadcast. Sure, you see a lot of very popular in the podcast space, of course. And I think if I remember correctly, Michael Jackson used this microphone to do the Thriller album. Very popular in music and video production. Great big voice from this great big condenser microphone, right? But of course, we're also utilizing a high-end Allen & Heath mixer. So the preamps, or the input, the amplifier that is taking the signal from the microphone and amplifying it and sending it into the processor, that makes a difference as well. So you want to make sure you got good quality gear. I mean, there's tons of different ways that you can get audio into your computer. This is just one. So, but no, I want you to pay attention and notice the difference in the placement, right? If I'm right up on it, you get that nice, big, deep, rich, right? And I'm not speaking through my nose as much. I'm not talking in my natural tone. I'm kind of speaking from down here. And you're getting that resonance, right? That nice, big announcer radio voice. I get that a lot. You got a great radio voice, Sam. Yeah, well, there you go. This is how I'm doing it. It's just like singing. I'm not singing. I'm not up here in my head and in my soft palate. I'm down here in my throat and in my chest. So I'm getting closer and I'm speaking lower and I'm not projecting as much, but I want to make sure that I'm enunciating clearly and that I'm using inflection to stress specific words, and I want to make sure that my pace and my energy is up, right? Because I want this thing to be high energy and kind of a fun video, right? But notice as I move away from the microphone, right? And 1, 2, 3, 4. Look, listen to the difference. Listen to the difference. I hear this a lot. People, you're podcasting. What do you need headphones for, right? Why you gonna listen to yourself? Well, yeah, right? Because if I get away from the microphone, listen to how that sounds, right? I can tell when I'm away. I can tell if I'm turning my head over this way, right? I know I got to move the microphone over because without even paying attention to the waveforms and the meters and stuff, I know I'm getting off axis from the microphone and it's changing, right? You can hear that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's go back 1, 2, 3, right? So depending on the tone that I want to get, I'm going to have to pay attention to where my mouth is and the angle in which the microphone, listen to that, straight. How many times do you see this? People, the microphone is going into their chest, right? Right into the microphone. You're going to point it right, this particular kind of mic, you want to go right at the source of the sound, which is my mouth. So we're going to place this correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sounds fabulous. Nice, deep, rich tone. Now I'm getting a little bit of pop. So let me see. I think I have a pop filter under my desk. Let me grab that. And what does the pop filter do? Well, that prevents, well, it doesn't prevent. It cuts down the wind that is coming out of your mouth that's going across the diaphragm of the microphone, and you're getting that explosiveness. So when you pop, 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 pop. Now this has a built-in capsule, but I bought an additional one that gives me a little bit more protection, so I don't ruin a wonderful audio track by going back and listening to it and going, I'm getting this pop that I really, you can do wonders with digital processing, and I've been able to fix stuff that I thought was unusable, but why make extra work for yourself? Get it done do it right the first time. So let me grab a pop filter. All right, a little foam, a little bit of extra foam on the action here. That's going to help cut down and you don't lose with this, you really don't lose any semblance, you know, the nice crisp high ends. Listen to that. It's still cutting through the foam, right? But it's cutting down on that p whenever I say my P's. See? P, 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 P. Check 1, 2. All right, I'm going to adjust my volume. All right, let's do a voiceover track. Now, I've been doing this a long time. And mostly I will just do this all in one take. Just because I have the experience to do it and I normally nail it. Now, one thing that I would want to caution anybody is if you're just starting out with doing voiceovers, don't make more work for yourself, right? Just go ahead, read it. If you need to then read it again and read it again, one of the things that I suggest is just do it a couple times and then you can edit and use the best of the best. Why does that matter? Because you know what? You can go back tomorrow or next week and you can record a voiceover again. You can say, I didn't like the way I said tool rental there, or I didn't like the way I said old-fashioned, right? I didn't like that. So I'm just going to go back and I'm going to do what we call a punch in and record just that word, right? Well, you would be shocked how much your voice changes from day to day to day. It really, truly does. The timbre of your voice changes. The tone of your voice changes. And even the ambient sounds in your house change. You know, maybe there was a fan running in the other room and you really didn't notice it when you were recording, but it's a sort of a consistent hush. And you kind of filter that out, right? But when you filter that out, you also are changing you're using an EQ and you're changing the tone of your voice as well a little bit. And then the next day the fan's not running and you don't notice that. And you record it, so the actual tone of your voice is changing the second time, and then you can really hear the patch. Have you ever heard a voiceover patch? Like you're listening to something and you can hear it punching in, right? Things change and your voice changes from day to day. So get as much as you can. Make sure that you get it where you want it, and then you can go back through in your edit and add. So let's go ahead and do this thing. Check 1, 2. Look at that. Nice, strong waveform. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. All right. So let me go ahead and pull this out. All right, let's see. How about welcome to Mint Hill Tool Rental, our community's trusted partner for over 20 years. Now, I didn't like when I said that, so I'm going to turn the microphone slightly. All right. Let's go ahead and start recording again. I'm going to go back to the beginning. I'm going to see if I can get through this. Welcome to Mint Hill Tool Rental, our community's trusted partner for over 20 years. From concrete mixers to lawnmowers, tile cutters to backhoes, we've got the tools you need to get the job done right. I didn't like that. Let me put that together. I didn't like the delay there to get the job done right. Let me change this over to here on the screen. All right. I'm going to just do that all again and blend it all together and keep that energy up. Welcome to Mint Hill Tool Rental, our community's trusted partner for over 20 years. From concrete mixers, didn't like that way. I rushed right into the next line. Welcome to Mint Hill Tool Rental. Welcome to Mint Hill Tool Rental, our community's trusted partner for over 20 years. From concrete mixers to lawnmowers. I forgot. Studio One. When you are recording, if you switch windows and run it, drop it into the background, it will actually stop recording. So I'm going to put my script. Well, how do I want to do this? I may have to do this in segments. Let's see here if I can get it all on the screen. Because I don't want to have to scroll. All right. Yeah, I can do this. I just want to leave it all up there. There we go. There we go. I don't want to have to. I'm sure there's a feature in there somewhere that allows me to turn that off in PreSonus, but it stops recording whenever I change the window, which we don't want. All right. There we go. All right. Let's get back to the beginning. Take care of your voice. A little bit of lemon water. Room temperature, mind you. Let's see if anybody is commenting on Facebook. No. No comments. Nobody watching. I don't care. That's all right. I'm going to stick with this because I promised myself I would. All right, so here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Recording. Welcome to Mint Hill Tool Rental, our community's trusted partner for over 20 years. From concrete mixers to lawnmowers, tile cutters, and backhoes, we've got the tools you need to get the job done right. Whether you're a seasoned contractor or a weekend do-it-yourselfer, Mint Hill Tool Rental offers a wide range of pro-level equipment, flexible rental options, competitive pricing, and the expert advice and service you expect throughout every step of your job or project. Our team are more than just employees. They're knowledgeable and passionate about helping you, and they're ready to help you choose the right tools for any job, big or small. At Mint Hill Tool Rental, service and value aren't just words or a slogan. It's our promise to our customers. Hear a little truck going by. And we're talking happy customers. We've built our reputation the old-fashioned way, through word of mouth, honest value, and customer satisfaction. But don't just take our word for it. Our customers say it best. Did you notice I stuttered a little bit on say? Our customers say it best. We believe in building relationships, not just transactions. We believe in building relationships, not just transactions. We believe in building relationships, not just transactions. History and community. Our story began in 1999 when our founder, Tony Long, was inspired to bring a tool rental business to Mint Hill, North Carolina. His vision was to provide the area with an alternative to big box stores that would focus on providing not only value in pricing, but excelling in service. That fall, he partnered with Leon Hill, and he opened the original shop on Matthews Mint Hill Road. A few years later, the Long family took full ownership of the company and moved the business to its current location at Blair Road, just off of Albemarle Road, where we've grown slowly and steadily, not by chasing numbers, but by investing in people. Not by chasing numbers, but by investing in people. In 2016, Dan Wolf joined the team, bringing with him a talent for finding good people. And thanks to him and our diverse, dedicated staff, we've continued to grow year after year. Truck going by. We're proud to support our local nonprofits, and we always try to hire local teens looking for their first job, many of whom have gone on to great careers. At Mint Hill Tool Rental, we don't just rent tools, we build community. Come visit us at 11223 Blair Road or check us out online. Come visit us at 11223 Blair Road in Mint Hill, North Carolina, or check us out online at minthilltoolrental.com. Mint Hill Tool Rental, your local source for quality tools, professional service, and a community of experts that care. There you go. Let's print that bad boy. Boink. All right, so save, and let's set my export range, and we are going to export mix down, and I'm just going to save this as let's put it in the right folder first off. Biz clients, Mint Hill Tool, marketing vid, final voiceover. All right, and that's the folder, and file name, we're going to call it final voiceover. Resolution WAV file, 64-bit is just fine, and we're going to do between the loop and export. Dun, 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 dun. Please wait. There it is. All right, let's take a look here. There it is. Look at that. Crazy, crazy easy, right? All right, now let's go ahead and bring that into Premiere. All right. Oh, by the way, I do want to say, while Premiere is loading here, I do work. I do work. I do work in the professional space of consulting. So if you're a local church, if you are a business that wants to have a podcast studio set up, if you want to break into this realm and you want a system like this, I sell these Shamai cameras and controllers, and I sell the gear. I can design a system for you, I can build a system for you, and I can train you on the system, also breaking into digital signage. So if you need any such services, visit me at EttaroMedia.com. Not just video editing and live streaming. I build stuff too. All right, here we go. Let's get back to here, main video. Woo. Let's take a look here. Well, that's loading. See if anything is happening. No. No. Let's see. Comments. No comments. What are you going to do? Nobody watching. But that's okay. Like I said, I got to start somewhere, right? And I'm just going to keep doing it, and maybe the algorithm will find me at some point. So I'm actually going to switch this camera See, this is pretty cool. All right. So I can go into here and I can say, all right, this is the scene that I'm working on. And I'm going to switch. I was going to switch my camera to the other camera, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to go ahead and get this done. All right. So here's what we got. All right. Let's take a listen again.
Welcome to Mint Hill Tool Rental, our community's trusted partner for over 20 years.
Blah.
Concrete mixers,
Blah.
for lawnmowers, tile cutters, backhoes, and more. We got
Blah. Let's get rid of that. So we're going to turn that off. Actually, let's just delete it. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into my bin, and I'm going to go find the file, import. Where is it? Biz, clients, Mint Hill, marketing vid, final voiceover. Okay. So, and there it is. You can see the waveform building. Yay. And that should be welcome to Mint Hill Tool Rental. And there it is. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up a new sequence based on this. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to chop out the crap, right? And just go with the stuff that I know that I'm going to use. And add some, then we're going to go and we're going to add compression to it and beef it up and EQ it a little bit. So let's go to new sequence from clip. All right. And we're going to go ahead and increase the waveform so I can see it better. And let's chop this bad boy up. We're just going to razor. And here we go. Welcome to, I'm going to raise the gain by about 6 dB. Welcome to Mint Hill Tool Rental, our community's trusted partner for over 20 years. From concrete mixers to lawnmowers, tile cutters, and backhoes, we've got the tools you need to get the job done right. Whether you're a seasoned contractor, your job or project. Our team are more. Okay, so we're going to chop that. Welcome to... Okay, ripple delete that. Welcome to Mint Hill Tool Rental, our community's trusted partner for over 20 years. From concrete mixers to lawnmowers, tile cutters, and backhoes, we've got the tools you need to get the job done right. Whether you're a seasoned contractor or a weekend do-it-yourselfer, Mint Hill Tool Rental contractor or a weekend do-it. Okay, so sometimes when I'm reading, it's easy to get tongue-tied, right? So when I say, listen to this. Weekend, do it. Weekend, because it ends on a D, and then the next word is a D, right? So weekend, do-it-yourselfer. So in order to articulate that very clearly, I will make sure that I give it a bit of a space. And then I go through and I can chop that space out. Actor or a weekend, do it, right? So let's go. Weekend. Let me beef this up a little bit so you can hear it better. Weekend or weekend or a week. Hold on. Or a weekend. There we go. Or weekend. Okay. Chop it there. See all that space? And then you can hear, you can see the hard D right there. Do it. Right? So I'm going to get rid of that. Clear it. And I'm going to move this closer together. And then I'm going to do what's called an exponential crossfade. So that's going to ramp that down. And now I take a listen nice and clear. Seasoned contractor or a weekend do-it-yourselfer, Mint Hill Tool Rental offers a wide range of pro-level equipment, flexible rental. Did you hear that? Range of pro-level equipment, flexible rental. Okay, we can get rid of that space. Wide range of pro-level equipment. Okay, let's chop that up. Level equipment, flexible. There we go. Flexible, so I'm going to ramp that up a little. Flexible. Nice, right on the F. And equipment. I wanted to get that T. You can see the T right there, right? Equipment. There we go. Let's ramp that down. Okay. All right, and we'll do that. A little fade as well. So take a listen now. Pro level equipment, flexible rental. And flexible rental options, competitive options, competitive. Yep, see that C right there? That's kind of a hard C. You can hear it. So, options, rental options. Okay, we're going to end that. And let's see about smoothing that out a touch. Equipment, flexible rental options, competitive pricing, and the expert advice and service you expect throughout every step. Okay. Competitive pricing and the expert advice and I kind of like that pause there, so I'm going to leave that. Pricing and the expert advice and service you expect throughout. There's that inflection. There's that inflection. Who's going to expect it? You are going to expect it, right? We want to make sure that the audience knows who we're talking about. You expect quality service. Pricing and the expert advice and service you expect throughout every step of your job or project. Okay, project. Hear that? Project. Right there. We want that T. You want to hear that. Nothing drives me nuts more when people cut those off. They cut off their T's or they cut off... Our team are more, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and get that. Ripple, delete that. Step of your job or project. Our team. All right, so I'll need a little bit of space there. I cut too much out. So let me go ahead and ramp that down. And I'm going to ramp that back up. Oh, linear. Or project. Our team are... Oh. Project. Our team are more than just employees. They're knowledgeable and passionate about helping. Okay, knowledgeable. That was a mouthful, right? So I'm going to go ahead and blend that with passionate. A little bit more. Get rid of some. Our team are more than just employees. They're knowledgeable. Just employees. Okay, let's get rid of some of that space. Are more than just employees. They're knowledgeable and knowledgeable and passionate. Okay. Now, if the flow's the same and you take a look at the waveform here, and the waveform matches up in its height, right, and the intensity, then a lot of times you don't need to put that transition in there. And you really, your average person isn't even going to hear this. I can hear it sometimes, but employees, they're knowledgeable and passionate about. Hear that? Because it was a hard A anyway, right? Knowledgeable and passionate about helping you, and they're ready to help you choose the right tools for any job, big or small. At Mint Hill Tool Rental, service and value aren't just words or a slogan. Rental service and value aren't just words or a slogan. It's our promise to our customers. Hear a little truck going by. And we're talking happy customers. Okay. Delete. Customers. We've built our reputation the old-fashioned way, through word of mouth, honest value, and customer satisfaction. But don't just take our word for it. Our customers say it best. Did you notice I stuttered a little bit on say? Our customers say it best. We believe in building. Okay, I like that. So let me get rid of that. Word of mouth, honest value, and customer satisfaction. But don't just take our word for it. Our customers for it. Let's get rid of that. Ripple delete. But don't just take our word for it. Our customers say it best. Perfect. All right, let's get rid of this. Customers say it best. We believe in building relationships, not just transactions. We believe in building relationships, not just transactions. We believe in building relationships, not just transactions. Perfect. All right, let's get rid of that. Take a listen. Our customers say it best. We believe in building relationships, not just transactions. Nice. Community. Our story began. Okay, now we're getting into the history, kind of the touchy-feely stuff. I'm going to put a little bit of a fade between these clips. Transactions. Our story began in 1999 when our founder, Tony Long, was inspired to bring a tool rental business to Mint Hill, North Carolina. His vision was to provide the area with an alternative to big box stores that would focus on providing not only value in pricing, but excelling in service. That fall, he partnered with Leon Hill and he opened the original shop on Matthews Mint Hill Road. A few years later, the Long family took full ownership of the company and moved the business to its current location at Blair Road, just off of Albemarle Road, where we've grown slowly and steadily, not by chasing numbers, but by investing to its current location at Blair Road. I don't think that's proper. I was going to read the address, but I don't think that's proper. At Blair Road. Where do you live? I live at... No, it would be on Blair Road. Ah, crap. Okay, so let me get... So, okay, let's see if I can do a patch here. All right. I am good. Okay, well, now that I got this up, I'm going to go ahead and do a real quick patch. Let's get our script back. Boy, good thing I caught that. Because that would be one of the problems, like I'm talking about. Going back and patching that word. All right. A few years later, the Long family took full ownership and moved the business to its current home on Blair Road. There we go. That's what I want to say. Okay? Here we go. A few years later, the Long family took full ownership and moved the business to its current home on Blair Road, just off of Albemarle Road. Just off of Albemarle Road. Albemarle. Oh, boy, that's a mouthful. A few years later, the Long family took full ownership of the business and moved to its current... A A few years later, the Long family took full ownership and moved the business to its current home on not on Albemarle. All right, let's try it again. And of course, there's somebody running a chainsaw or something outside. Nice. That's just great. I'm almost done, and somebody is right outside running a chainsaw, literally. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Let me see if I can just get it. To its current home on Blair Road. Got it. It was between him going, "Arr, arr, arr." All right. And I'll just patch that in. Right? Isn't that funny? Right? Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. All right. So let's get this. I'm going to save that, and I'm going to export. Patch 1. Sorry if you can hear that. Good Lord. That's loud. I don't know what the heck they're doing out there. Sounds like they're taking a tree down. All right, there it is. All right. Let's close this. Okay, so this is where you do a little bit of magic. This is pretty cool. And move the business to its current location at Blair Road. All right, so what we're going to do is let's find that on audio, import, patch 1, and there it is right there. To its current home on Blair Road. Boom. All right, so a few years later, the Long family took full ownership of the company and moved the business to its current location. Moved the business to its and moved the business. So we're going to zoom in here. Here the okay, we're going to cut that. To its current location at Blair Road. And we're going to get rid of this completely. And move the business to its current location. So we're going to drag this down instead. And we're going to finesse this so it's not even noticeable. The Long family took full ownership of the company and moved the business to its current home on Blair Road. There we go. On Blair Road, just off of Albemarle Road. Blair Road, just off of Albemarle Road. Okay. Years later, the Long family took full. All right, so now what's the difference between these? If you take a look here, I added 6 dB again on this one, and this I didn't yet. So I'm going to add that. That's why you were getting the volume difference. Full ownership of the company and moved the business to its current home on Blair Road, just off of Albemarle. Years later, the Long family took full ownership of the company and moved the business to its current home on Blair Road. Okay, that's a little hotter, so I'm going to bring that down. -1. All right, and with music, now I can hear it. I can hear a slight difference in the way that I was reading that and the tone. Maybe the microphone was a little bit different placement before. With music behind it, I don't think your average person's going to hear that at all. The company and moved the business to its current home on Blair Road, just off of Albemarle Road. All right. Ownership. Okay, road, where we've grown slowly and steadily, not by chasing numbers, but by investing in people. Not by chasing numbers, but by investing in people. In 2000.
All right, let's get this out of there.
Not by chasing numbers. Chasing numbers steadily.
All right.
And we've grown slowly and steadily, not by chasing numbers, but by investing in people. In 2016, Dan Wolf joined the team, bringing with him a talent for finding good people. And thanks to him and our diverse, dedicated staff, we've continued to grow year after year. Truck going by. We're proud to support.
There we go. Let's cut this.
We're proud to support our local nonprofits, and we always try to hire local teens looking for their first job, many of whom have great careers. At Mint Hill Tool Rental, we don't just rent tools. We come visit us.
Okay. I think that'll do.
Come visit us at 11223 Blair Road or check us out online. Come visit us at 11223 Blair Road in Mint Hill, North Carolina, or check us out online at minthilltoolrental.com. Mint Hill Tool Rental.
Okay. Ramp that up, get rid of that space. All right. Okay. Put a little envelope there. Boink.
Build community. Come visit us at 11223 Blair Road in Mint Hill, North Carolina, or check us out online at minthilltoolrental.com. Mint Hill Tool Rental, your local source for quality tools, professional service, and a community of experts that care.
Henry, what's up, dude?
Thank you. Yeah, I've been wanting to do this for years. I mean, I really do some cool stuff for some clients, and rarely do I even promote that I did it. I mean, they'll end up on my portfolio on my website, but I just think that, especially what I do with these TikTok videos for Naomi Brockwell, man, it's crazy cool stuff that just the digital magic that we're able to put together, her and the team that we have to put those things out. And we've exploded her TikTok channel. Man, I don't know, 1 million something views, 1 million something followers. I don't even know anymore. We've been doing that for 3 years. All right, so let me say hi to Henry. Thank you so much. All right, appreciate the kudos. Somebody was watching, somebody said thanks. That's awesome. That means a lot. So, if you're out there and you're watching, say hi. Even if you're only tuning in for just a second. Say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. It means a lot. It really does. And, of course, you want to go ahead and hit the subscribe button. That helps us build our channel here. I've got very few channels. I'm going to go ahead and put up the social media stuff here. These are our channels. You can reach me at EttaroMedia, and we will be going here on TikTok as well, producing various content, and I'm going to be doing a lot more of this kind of stuff. I figure since I'm sitting here editing anyway, I'm doing the work anyway, I might as well share what I'm doing, and maybe somebody will learn something and be entertained. So, back to the edit. Okay, so let's take this, and now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop in the timeline, final voiceover. So I'm going to do select. Let's see. Reveal sequence in project. There it is right there. Now I'm going to take that. That's the final voiceover. I don't need any video, so let's unlink it. Welcome to Mint Hill Tool Rental, our community's trusted partner for over 20 years. From concrete mixers to lawnmowers, tile cutters, and backhoes, we've got the tool. That was stupid. Okay, so yeah, I forgot that when you do what's called a nested sequence, you create a sequence and then you put it into another sequence. If you add any, and this drives me nuts. Certainly, remember we talked about the love-hate relationship with Adobe? This is ridiculous. As advanced as this software is, right? If you add any effects or any processing to any of the audio in a subsequence and then you do a nested sequence, the audio waveform disappears and you can't see it. So that's just because I went and I added 6 dB gain. Right? So let's see if it shows back up. Nope, now it's not showing up at all. Ugh. So all that work for nothing. Well, now, you know what I'm going to do? Instead of working and bringing in the nested sequence, what I'm going to do is just take a piece at a time, since I already chopped it up. So it wasn't all for nothing. So let's get back to the beginning. That drives me nuts, though. All right, so let's see. Welcome to Mint Hill Tools you need to get the job done right. Whether you're a seasoned contractor or a weekend do-it-yourselfer, Mint Hill Tool Rental offers a wide range of pro-level equipment, flexible rental options, competitive pricing, and the expert advice job or project. Our team are... All right, so let's take all that, copy it. Now this should be picking up the pace of the edit quite a bit because I read a little bit faster, put a little bit more energy into it. So I'm going to go up and see. Yeah, take a look at that. Look at that. We just shaved off. That was 30-second intro. We just shaved off 34 seconds just by picking up the pace a little bit. Now, let's take a listen to that with the backing music. Welcome to Mint Hill Tool Rental, our community's trusted partner. All right, so music's a little bit loud, right? But there's some other considerations here too. There's a little, one of my magic bullets here is a compression preset called it's a multi-band. Let's see, where is this under effects? It's multi-band compression. And man, there's a broadcast preset that is just does wonders for voice. So when people listen to my voice and they, I mean, now granted, I got a good microphone, I got good gear, and I know how to use it. But this thing, what a difference. Watch this before and after. It's crazy. So we're going to go audio effects, amplitude and compression, multi-band compressor. I'm going to add that. Now listen to the difference here between the first clip and the second and third and fourth clips that don't have the compression. So let's go up and I'm going to choose the broadcast. Welcome to Mint Hill Tool Rental, our community's trusted partner for over 20. Now, one thing you notice, we're getting a little bit of computer noise. Right? It's probably a fan, something running in the background, but take a real quick listen. Welcome to Mint Hill Tool Rental. Right? One of the drawbacks of compression is that it can add noise because you're compressing the squash in the waveform, you're changing the ceiling, the ratio of the waveforms in there and how they're expressing themselves. So, how it's expressing itself, I should say. So, we're increasing noise in this case, but we're getting this big sound that we want. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to noise reduction under audio effects, denoise, and that is really, it's just magic. It's going to take care of it. Now I can set the level that I want here. I'm going to start out with a light reduction. If you get the noise reduction is too heavy, sometimes you can hear this. You can kind of hear a wobbling effect. It kind of sounds like it's underwater. So you got to strike a nice balance here. So let's take a listen to this. Welcome to Mint Hill Tool Rental, our community's trusted partner for over 20 years. From concrete mixers to lawnmowers, tile cutters, and backhoes, we've got the tools you need to get the job done right. All right, so we're going to pull the music down just a touch. Right, whether you're a seasoned contractor or a weekend do-it-yourselfer. You hear the difference? Wow, listen to the difference. Listen to this. This is crazy. You're going to see between this clip and this clip here. Okay? Listen to the difference. Concrete mixers to lawnmowers, tile cutters, and backhoes, we've got the tools you need to get the job done right. Whether you're a seasoned contractor or a weekend do-it-yourselfer. Wow, that's crazy. Now, I'm going to add a little bit of parametric EQ on there too, because I want to get, sometimes the noise reduction, you can lose some of that semblance and the crispness of the high end. So I'm going to add a little parametric EQ. Let's do a parametric equalizer. So we add the compression, get it all nice and fat, we denoise it, and then the high-end frequencies that are getting kind of squashed and denoised, we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of them back. So let's go ahead and take right around here and boost it up a little bit and hear what that sounds like. Welcome to Mint Hill Tool Rental, our community's trusted partner for over 20 years. From concrete mixers to lawnmowers, tile cutters, and backhoes, we've got the tools you need to get the job done right. Whether you're a seasoned contractor or a weekend do-it-yourselfer, Mint Hill Tool Rental offers a wide. Good. It's cutting through the backing track. Welcome to Mint Hill Tool Rental, our community's trusted partner for over 20 years. From concrete mixers to lawnmowers, tile cutters, and backhoes, we've got the tools you need to get the job done right. Nice. Whether you're a seasoned contractor or... How do we get that onto these other ones? Nice little copy and paste. What we're going to do is we're going to right click, we're going to copy, and then we're going to lasso all these, and we're going to say paste attribute. What are the attributes? Well, they're right here. These are the effects that we added: the multiband compressor, denoise, and parametric equalizer. Now let's take a listen to the whole segment, and then we're going to do this segment and this segment, and then I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up because you don't need to sit and watch me do this whole thing. But I wanted you to see this.
The process.
Our team are more than just employees. They're knowledgeable and passionate about helping you. Okay, crappy scratch track. Get rid of that. Listen to this.
Safety harness.
Ready to help you choose the right tools for any job, big or small.
It's not.
Yep, crappy scratch track. Get rid of that. Let's go ahead and grab these. So I'm going to just label these that I use them. Or project. Our team are more than just employees. They're knowledgeable and passionate about helping you, and they're ready to help you choose the right tools for any job, big or small. At Mint Hill Tool. Okay, right there. We're going to cut that. We're going to copy. So when I come back to that, if I quit here and I come back, always try to label your stuff. It's a pain in the neck to have to go through and find where you left off, you know. Especially when you're working with an hour and a half long film project or something like that. All right, so let's see. We're here. Expect throughout. All right, so right here, we're going to go up, paste, doink. All right, look at that. Team more than just employees. They're knowledgeable and passionate about helping you, and
most people tend to rent the lifts for tree work, cleaning windows, Christmas lights, anything that's up high that ladders just.
All right. So this, let's see. We're going to add copy. We're going to paste the attributes. Paste attributes. Boink. Bring that up. And we're going to, what are we going to have to do here? We're going to have to, she went on a little bit too much here.
Lights.
Okay, so I'm going to go and I'm actually going to chop some of this out.
Anything that's up high.
All
right? So
Anything that's up high that ladders just won't be able to reach.
The first thing.
okay, so we're gonna go right
To reach.
right, and we can actually trim quite a bit of time off of this too. So we're gonna move this clip over. Employees. They're knowledgeable and passionate about helping you, and they're ready to help you choose the right tools for any job, big or
Most
small.
people tend to
And they're ready to help you choose the right tools for any job, big or
most
small.
people tend to rent the lifts for
Okay, we're going to move her over a little bit here. Right there. Okay. Now I'm going to add B-roll to this. Okay, with a little bit of space. Choose the right tools for any job, big or big or small. I can lose a second there or two. Okay, now you can see we're going to take that and ramp that down. And then she starts talking. Any job, big or small.
most people tend to rent.
There we go. Okay. So, nah, did you hear the b? It kind of cut off my big or small. So I'm going to ramp that up a little bit because I cut it too tight. Tools for any job, big or small. Let's see. Job. I cut my word off a little too tight there. Tools for any job, big or small.
Most people tend to.
All right. And let's move this over just a little bit. I hear the boys barking downstairs. Gonna go see what's going on. Choose the right tools for any job, big or small.
Most people tend to rent the lifts for tree work, cleaning windows, Christmas lights.
Okay, so we're going to pull this music down because Raj is talking and there's music from that clip in the background. Now, what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to leave this because I'm going to go back to the original project. This project was a finished video that I made, right? So it had graphics, it had music, the whole thing. So it happens to be that it's in a segment here. I just grabbed it as B-roll, but I grabbed it from the master. So I got to go back through and find those original clips that don't have music, and I'm going to leave this music in there, right? If that makes sense, right? Because you can hear the music if I mute this track.
Cleaning windows, Christmas lights.
Right? So I'm going to find that clip and put the original music back in there, or the original audio.
It's not just about the pricing.
With Raj, with no music, and then I'm going to leave this music because I like
tree work, cleaning windows, Christmas lights.
Right, so that's Raj talking about safety. We heard it before. The first thing we do is okay, so now, next in the voiceover, let's go to this quick segue. At Mint Hill Tool Rental, service and value aren't just words or a slogan. It's our promise to our customers. We've built our... Boom. So let's grab that, copy, label that. All right, and we're going to drop that in over here. Right here. Paste. At Mint Hill Tool Rental, service and value aren't just words or a slogan.
It's not just about the pricing, but the way we...
Here, and we're gonna we are gonna copy attributes. Now what I'll do is I will take, as you can see, I got a ways to work here, right? I still got a lot of work to do here to finesse all this.
and polish this up. So what I will do is I will copy and paste attributes once I get all of the voiceover in. So I just want you to see this. At Mint Hill Tool Rental, service and value aren't just words or a slogan. It's our promise to our customers.
It's not just about the pricing, but the way we treat our customers.
There you go. Right now, that's part of it. Then once I get the new voiceover in there, I have to go back through and I have to polish all the audio, make sure the audio levels are where I want them. And then I got to go to every one of these clips and I'm going to do audio treatment on every clip here. If you take a listen to Rosa, it's our promise to our customers.
It's not just about the pricing, but the way we treat our customers. We treat them with respect. Our customers come first.
When customers come in, they want advice on.
The audio was different from outside, right? I got to make sure that the cuts, you can't hear the cuts. I got to make sure that the transitions are smooth. The audio was different in the room than outside on the car. We've got trucks passing by as Raj is outside on, and there's a lot of noise outside, so I got to add noise filters. So you can see every, and EQing, so we get consistency in the audio. Right? You take a listen to it now, you can hear the inconsistency based on, some of these were shot on cell phones. Some of these were using the little creator microphone. Some of them you were using different microphones with a high-end 4K camcorder. So there's a lot of work to do to add that final polish. So I'm thinking another 2 full days in the studio to get this thing where I want it. And my plan is hopefully to get out there on Wednesday and to shoot some last-minute B-roll that I feel like I need to add a more personal touch to this. Like there's a lot of cuts in here where I was getting rid of ams and uhs and stammers and whatnot. And it's just like product B-roll, but I want to add a personal approach to it. So, you know, customers laughing and slapping high fives and, you know, maybe the team loading stuff up in a customer's truck and thanking them for their business, that kind of personal touch to this. And slogan, then in the final phase is some graphic overlays, subtle graphic overlays. These graphics here, service and value, were only there for placement for me because that's how I started laying this thing out. Then I got to go through and do color treatments on this, right? That clip right there is really, really bright, right? I want to make sure that the colors kind of sort of match a little bit closer if I possibly can. So, you know, and I'll broadcast this stuff. You're seeing some of the nuances that go into creating a project like this. So take a listen here. Let's just start at the beginning and take a listen. Actually, I want you to see the timeline. Follow along on the timeline, and you can see as we're going from asset to asset here, right? You can see these cuts. So these straight cuts, I gotta add some transitions and fades in there. So every element up here is an asset, and you can see how they work together. So if you take a look here, right, just as an example, this is Rosa's name. I'll turn that off, right? That's just the text, or that's the background. That's the Mint Hill logo that's up there in the lower third. That's the video. That's her name. Right? So you can see how I timed the swish in where this one, the name comes in quick, boom. Then we get the graphic behind it. Then the Mint Hill logo. And in fast time, you're seeing it like a...
But the way we treat our customers, we treat them with
same Same process, but in reverse going out.
Respect, our customers come first.
When customers
Now, if I want to, I can add a little sound effect on there, like a right? Or we're dealing with a tool shop, right? What I would do is I can go through and I can add, get into my stock catalog, and I can add sound effects of tools, right? So, right? So as this is going, and her title can
But the way we treat our customers.
I may add a sound effect.
But the way we treat our customers, we treat them with respect. Our customers come first.
when customers come in,
Again, audio is so important. It adds life and sparkle and energy to a video. Hopefully you're enjoying this and you learned a little something. Welcome to Mint Hill Tool Rental, our community's trusted partner for over 20 years. From concrete mixers to lawnmowers, tile cutters, and backhoes, we've got the tools you need to get the job done right. Whether you're a seasoned contractor or a weekend do-it-yourselfer, Mint Hill Tool Rental offers a wide range of pro-level equipment, flexible rental options, competitive pricing, and the expert advice and service you expect throughout every step of your job or project.
My name is Rosa, and today's video we'll be talking about how to load up and properly
All right,
secure
did you
your
see that?
machine.
So we lost a lot of time there, so that's good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this. I'm just going to kind of roll this the whole way back to where she starts talking, and we just shortened it by a good 4 seconds. Flexible rental options, competitive pricing, and the expert advice and service you expect throughout every Oh, let's get the music back in there. All right, and now we want that music resolve, right? So what we're going to do, but I like the beginning too. Welcome to Mint Hill Tool Rental, our community's trusted partner for over 20 years. From concrete mixers to lawnmowers, tile cutters, and backhoes, we've got the tools you need to get the job done right. Whether you're a seasoned contractor or a weekend do-it-yourselfer, Mint Hill Tool Rental offers... Okay, so I stopped it right on a beat, okay? I don't know if you noticed that, but that was on purpose. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trim some of this so we get the resolve of that clip. See that waveform goes up and back down? We're going to get that resolve right where we want it. So it's like this. Rental options, competitive pricing, and the expert advice and service you expect throughout every step of your job or project. Okay, a little bit further over. Throughout every step of your job or project.
My name is Rosa.
Boom. Every step of your job or project.
My name is Rosa, and today's video we'll be talking...
Nice. Okay, so now let's see if we can get this to sync up so you don't notice the hiccup if the beat is off. So I'm going to zoom in on that. Rental offers a Look at that. I nailed it. Right on a beat, and you can't tell that cut was made. Take a listen. Tool Rental, our community's tools you need to get the job done right. Whether you're a seasoned contractor or a weekend do-it-yourselfer, Mint Hill Tool Rental offers a wide range of pro-level equipment, flexible... Okay, can kind of hear it. I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'm just going to bring it way down, right? So I'm going to kind of ramp it back up. So we're going to bring it down and a gradual ramping down, and then we're just going to mask that with that fade. Audio transition. Crossfade. There we go. All right, and we're going to kind of make that a little bit longer so you don't... We've got the tools you need to get the job done right. Whether you're a seasoned contractor or a weekend do-it-yourselfer, Mint Hill Tool Rental offers a wide range of pro-level equipment, flexible rental options, competitive pricing, and the expert advice. All right, so I'm going to have to play with this a little bit so I don't hear that cut as much. Yourselfer. Mint Hill Tool Rental offers a wide range of pro... All right, I don't like that. Let's see. We've got the tools you need to get the job done right. Whether you're a seasoned contractor or a weekend do-it-yourselfer, Mint Hill Tool Rental offers a wide range of pro-level equipment, flexible rental options, competitive pricing, and the expert advice and service you expect throughout every step of your job or project.
My name is Rosa, and today's video will be talking. Go ahead and walk you through the
Our
process.
team are more than just employees. They're knowledgeable and passionate about helping you, and they're ready to help you choose. Okay, I'm going to put a marker here on the timeline because I'm going to have to go in and really finesse that. So make a note there and make sure that I cannot hear that audio cut. Okay, so that is it. So vMix, again, this is what I got going on here. All of the different sources, my different camera sources, my different audio sources. We have the different scenes here that I can run through. Social media, you want to make sure that you check us out. Oh man, I hope I had that, didn't have that music playing in the background. Ah, nuts. I think I had this music playing in the background the whole time. Hopefully that didn't screw everything up. Ah, you see what I did? Ah, see? I put on my other headphones when I was recording, right? And the other headphones are giving me different audio feeds. I was not monitoring through these headphones, which are monitoring the vMix mix. And, well, hopefully the audio for this track that I see was running in the background didn't ruin everything. Isn't that ridiculous? So here I am talking about my audio expertise, and one little thing maybe screwed everything up. So, well, you know what? This is one of the advantages of being a professional in the space. Catching an error, fixing it, and if you can't fix it, you can delete and you can start over again. So hopefully that didn't get in the way. I'm going to go back and take a listen to it. And if it did, my apologies, and we'll just start over and do this another time because I'm going to go ahead and keep moving forward with this project. Check out EttaroMedia at EttaroMedia.com. If you have any questions about digital media production, about our services, please feel free to contact me, info@EttaroMedia.com. My name is Sam Ettaro. I am out. I will see you next time around.